Do you believe this? That tiny pill you take every night to help you sleep, ease your pain, or calm your anxiety could be quietly erasing your memory, one piece at a time. Not after 10 years, but in as little as 3 months, your brain could already be shrinking. Your thinking slows down, familiar faces start to look unfamiliar. Words you've known your whole life suddenly vanish. Sounds hard to believe, yet millions of older adults in the UK and US are still taking these medications every single day without any warning from their doctors. Today, we'll reveal 9 commonly prescribed drugs for seniors that are now under serious scientific scrutiny linked to memory loss, confusion, and even up to an 80% higher risk of dementia. Some of these have been tied to the most severe brain shrinkage ever recorded in elderly patients. If you or someone you care about are taking any of these medications, you need to watch this video all the way through. Because memory loss doesn't always come from aging. Sometimes, it comes from a familiar little pill. Opioids, the pain fades, but so does your memory. Have you ever been prescribed a painkiller after surgery or for arthritis, back pain, or sciatica? Names like oxycodone, Vicodin, morphine, fentanyl, codeine probably sound familiar. But here's something you may not know. Meet Sheila, age 72. She was prescribed oxycodone after knee replacement surgery. At first, it worked wonders. She could walk again, groaned less, and the whole family felt relieved. But then, strange things started happening. She asked her husband, "Why is the bed floating?" She stood outside her own home and couldn't remember how to unlock the door. She became quiet, drifting off mid-sentence. Her children thought she was just tired. But 3 years later, a neurologist diagnosed her with early-onset dementia, and she's not alone. Studies show that long-term opioid users experience cognitive decline up to 40% faster. Why? Because opioids don't just numb pain, they also slow down the brain's memory, emotion, and thinking centers. The brain gets used to a quiet mode, neural activity becomes dulled. Connections between key regions weaken, and you won't even notice. Until your thoughts slow, your emotions fade, and memories begin to slip away. The scariest part, no one warns you. Most doctors never explain the long-term effects on your brain. And millions keep taking these drugs year after year until they can't even remember why they started. If you or a loved one is on opioids, ask your doctor this week, how much longer do I need this medication? Are there alternatives that won't harm my memory? Because yes, the pain may be fading, but your most precious memories could be disappearing with it. Benzodiazepines, the sleep comes, but your mind slips away. Did you start having trouble sleeping after losing a loved one? Did anxiety creep in after retirement? Did your doctor hand you a tiny pill to help you sleep better, to quiet your thoughts? It might have been Valium, Xanax, lorazepam Ativan, clonazepam Klonopin, or temazepam Restoral. But Walter's story is a wake-up call. Walter was 69 when he lost his wife of over 40 years. Grief hit him hard. He couldn't sleep. He lost weight. His doctor prescribed a low dose of lorazepam. Just a little something to help you rest, they said. At first, it worked. He slept through the night again. But within months, something changed. He pulled yogurt containers out of the trash and placed them in the freezer. He left his car running overnight twice in 1 week. His daughter thought he was just grieving. But 3 years later, he couldn't remember his granddaughter's name. Diagnosis: moderate stage dementia, not from age, not from grief, but from a small pill he took every night without question. Research shows that long-term benzodiazepine use can raise the risk of cognitive decline by 32% to 80%, depending on the dose and duration. Why is it so dangerous? These drugs work by slowing electrical activity in the brain. That's what helps you sleep, but it also disrupts memory formation, focus, and information processing. Over time, the brain loses its ability to wake up after sleep. Brain cells can shrink, leading to confusion, anxiety, and even hallucinations. And here's the most heartbreaking part. These medications are still being prescribed to millions of seniors year after year as if they're completely harmless. If you or someone you love is taking benzodiazepines, ask your doctor this simple question. Is there a safer alternative that won't harm my memory? Because sometimes, the pill that helps you sleep may also be the one that makes you forget who you are. Are you starting to feel concerned? You're not alone. Because here's what's even more frightening. Millions of people are still taking these medications every single day without realizing their memory may be quietly slipping away. And what comes next might be the most important part of this entire video. We're about to reveal a medication that is still widely prescribed, but linked to the most severe brain shrinkage ever recorded in older adults. If you click away now, you could miss the very information that might save your memory or the memory of someone you love. Muscle relaxants, the body unwinds, but the mind begins to fade. Do you suffer from chronic neck, back, or joint pain? Has your doctor ever prescribed a muscle relaxant to help you feel more comfortable? You may recognize names like Flexeril, Robaxin, Soma, or Dizanidine. They sound mild, just something to help relax your muscles and help you sleep. But the truth is far from mild. Yvonne, age 73, had chronic neck pain from spinal degeneration. Her doctor prescribed cyclobenzaprine, a common muscle relaxant. At first, she slept better, complained less. The family was relieved. But soon, strange things began happening. One morning, she poured milk into her shoes. Another day, she walked into the storage closet thinking it was the bathroom. And then she asked her grandson, "Since when is this dinosaur the president?" Everyone laughed, thought she was being silly. But the confusion only got worse. Just a few years later, her doctors diagnosed her with early-stage vascular dementia. You might be thinking, wait, muscle relaxants can harm the brain? Unfortunately, yes. Recent studies show that long-term use of muscle relaxants increases the risk of dementia by 36%. Why? Because these drugs don't just relax your muscles. They also slow down your central nervous system, including areas responsible for memory, alertness, and reflexes. Younger people may bounce back quickly, but for those over 60, the brain-slowing effects can linger and build up. Over time, you may not just feel sleepier. You may start forgetting names, why you walked into a room, or even where you are. If you're taking muscle relaxants daily, ask your doctor, is there a non-drug option like physical therapy or a safer treatment? Because yes, your body may feel relaxed, but your mind might be slowly falling silent. Allergy medications, one pill for sleep, one memory lost. Do you take an allergy pill at night to help you sleep? Maybe it's Benadryl, Unisom, chlorpheniramine, or hydroxyzine. Easy to find, inexpensive, no prescription needed. They seem harmless, but the truth is they're not. Franklin, age 71, just wanted to sleep better. He started taking an over-the-counter allergy pill every night, just like hundreds of thousands of people do. At first, it worked. He slept more deeply. But after a few months, his son began to notice something strange. Franklin kept asking the same question over and over, even after being answered. One day, he put his wallet in the freezer, then insisted someone was trying to steal it. 2 years later, he got lost driving to church, a place he'd been going to for decades. By the time anyone realized something was wrong, Franklin was already in the early stages of Alzheimer's. Here's what most people don't know. First-generation antihistamines like Benadryl block a chemical in the brain called acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter crucial for memory, learning, and focus. And for older adults, the brain is already losing acetylcholine naturally with age. When you take these medications, they block even more, pushing the brain deeper into a cognitive fog. Studies show long-term use of these drugs can increase dementia risk by up to 54%. But the issue isn't just the drug itself. The real danger is our assumptions. We believe, if it's over the counter, it must be safe. We trust those tiny pills that help us sleep without realizing they may be silencing our minds. If you or a loved one takes these allergy meds nightly, ask your doctor or pharmacist, is there a safer alternative that won't harm my memory? Because that little bit of forgetfulness you've noticed, it might not be each catching up with you. It could be the pill you thought was harmless. Sleeping pills, when deep sleep silences your memory. Have you ever stared at the ceiling until 3 a.m., unable to fall asleep, and then your doctor prescribed a pill to help you sleep deeper? It might have been Zolpidem, Ambien, Lunesta, Temazepam, Sonata, or Doxapan. These pills can help you drift off faster. But what you might not realize is this: that artificial sleep may be harming your brain's ability to remember, think clearly, and repair itself. Judith, 69, just wanted a good night's rest. Her doctor prescribed Zolpidem for chronic insomnia. At first, it worked. She slept more soundly, but within weeks, she began waking in the middle of the night and wandering the house. One night, she was found standing in the attic at 3 a.m. as if led there in a dream. She began calling family members by the wrong names. And one morning, she brushed her hair with a dinner fork. By age 71, Judith was diagnosed with mild cognitive impairment (MCI), the early stage of dementia. Shocking, it shouldn't be. A 2019 study published in the BMJ Medical Journal confirmed it. Older adults who use sleeping pills multiple times per week are at significantly higher risk for dementia. Why? The brain needs natural deep sleep. That's when it flushes out toxins, consolidates memory, and repairs itself. Sleeping pills interfere with the brain's slow-wave sleep, preventing full restoration. So even if you sleep for hours, your brain may wake up more exhausted than the night before. Over time, brain cells lose their ability to regulate themselves, and cognitive decline quietly takes hold. If you rely on sleeping pills regularly, ask your doctor or a sleep specialist. Is there a safer, more natural alternative that won't harm my brain? Because sleep is not just about rest, it's the brain's time to heal or begin to fade in silence. We've just covered 5 medications, each one with a silent but powerful impact on the brain. And right now, you might be thinking, I've taken some of these before, or worse. I'm still taking them every day. But don't click away yet, because what's coming next could be the most important part of this video. The part that could help save your memory. We're about to reveal a medication that's incredibly common, prescribed to millions of people every year. Yet it's also linked to the highest rates of brain shrinkage ever recorded in older adults. If you want to protect your mind, your identity, and your most precious memories, keep watching. Don't look away. Statins, protecting the heart but harming the mind. Have you ever been prescribed cholesterol-lowering medication, maybe after a routine checkup? Or because your cholesterol was just slightly elevated? You're not alone. Statins are among the most commonly prescribed drugs in the world. Familiar names include Lipitor, Crestor, Zocor, Prevacil, Mevacor. They're designed to lower cholesterol, good for the heart. But growing research suggests that when taken in high doses, over long periods, especially in older adults, they may hurt the brain. Hank, age 72, started statins after a blood test showed high cholesterol. Each morning, he took his pill believing he was protecting his heart, but within just a few months, he poured orange juice on the mattress, then calmly covered it with a blanket. He looked at his wife and said, "Your name sounds unfamiliar." One night, he shook her awake at 2 a.m., asking, "Why is our staircase melting?" Just 3 years after starting statins, Hank was diagnosed with early-stage dementia. A large 2020 study found long-term, high-dose statin users had a 58% higher risk of memory loss. Why? Statins reduce levels of CoQ10, an essential enzyme that helps power brain cells. Some scientists also point out, while cholesterol is often seen as harmful, the brain actually needs a certain amount to build nerve cells and maintain connections. Too little and the brain becomes less flexible, less connected, less sharp. And here's the troubling part. Statins are routinely prescribed to people over 60 even if they have no serious heart symptoms. If you're currently taking statins, ask your doctor, is my dosage too high for my age? Should I be getting regular memory checks while on this medication? Because not everyone needs a high dose, and no one should have to trade their memory for a lab result. Acid reflux medications, cooling the stomach, igniting the brain. Do you ever suffer from heartburn or acid reflux after meals? Maybe you take a small pill omeprazole, Nexium, pantoprazole, or lansoprazole to put out that burning discomfort. These are proton pump inhibitors, PPIs, commonly prescribed to older adults. But when taken for years, they may silently do serious damage to your brain. Mabel, age 74, had been taking omeprazole for years to manage acid reflux. Then one day, she said, "Why does this piece of bread smell like metal?" She refused to eat, insisting everything tasted like burnt metal. Then she mistook the kitchen sink for the toilet. Her family thought she had lost her sense of smell. But after a neurological exam, the diagnosis was clear: early-onset dementia. So how can a reflux pill affect the brain? PPIs reduce the body's ability to absorb vitamin B12, a vital nutrient that keeps brain cells healthy. These drugs also disrupt the gut's microbiome. And since the gut and brain are connected through the gut-brain axis, this can directly impact memory, mood, and cognition. And here's what's most concerning. These medications are only meant for short-term use, just a few weeks. Yet many people, especially seniors, end up taking them for years without any reevaluation. The result, the stomach feels fine, but the mind begins to fade. If you've been on PPs long-term, ask your doctor, can I check my vitamin B12 levels? Is it time to lower the dose or stop altogether? Because no one should have to sacrifice their memory just to keep their stomach calm. Antipsychotics calming confusion, but silencing clarity. When an older adult becomes agitated, anxious, or struggles with sleep, doctors may prescribe a mild sedative to help them feel calmer. It might be quetiapine Seroquel, risperidone, olanzapine Zyprexa, or haloperidol Haldol. These are antipsychotic medications often used in hospitals or nursing homes. They may sound necessary, but the consequences can be devastating. Leonard, age 71, was prescribed quetiapine to help him sleep and reduce agitation. But not long after, he poured syrup into a bowl of miso soup. He tried to open the microwave with his house keys. And one day, he stood silently in front of a mirror and asked, "Who is that man? Why is he talking to me?" All of this happened within just a few months. Not long after, Leonard was diagnosed with early-stage dementia. Recent studies warn. Antipsychotics may shrink the very parts of the brain responsible for memory and decision-making. Why? These medications suppress dopamine, a critical neurotransmitter for learning, focus, and emotional regulation. In older adults, dopamine levels are already naturally lower. Shutting it down entirely is like extinguishing the last spark of mental clarity. And here's the heartbreaking truth. These drugs are often used just to keep someone calm, especially in understaffed nursing homes. But that calmness may be the quiet fading of a once bright mind. If you or a loved one is on antipsychotics, ask your doctor, is this medication truly necessary? Are there non-drug options that won't impair thinking and memory? Because sometimes, silence isn't peace. It's the sound of a brain slowly losing its voice. Tricyclic antidepressants, easing the pain, opening the door to forgetfulness. If you've struggled with nerve pain, chronic insomnia, or depression after retirement, your doctor may have prescribed an older, trusted medication. It likely came from the tricyclic antidepressant family, with familiar names like amitriptyline, imipramine, or doxapan. These drugs can help you sleep, they can reduce pain. But they also carry a quiet, dangerous risk, one that's often overlooked. Delia, age 75, started taking amitriptyline for nerve pain. She was sharp, witty, and full of life, until one day, she poured milk into the washing machine instead of detergent. She asked her neighbor, "What's that ceiling fan whispering to me?" Her family thought it was a mild side effect. But by age 79, doctors confirmed Delia had developed dementia. Why? These medications directly interfere with acetylcholine, a key brain chemical for memory, focus, and learning. And in older adults who are already naturally low in acetylcholine, even small doses can accelerate brain aging without warning, studies show. Long-term use of tricyclic antidepressants, especially when combined with other medications that cause confusion, significantly increases the risk of dementia. Here's the most concerning part. These drugs are still widely prescribed to older adults, not just for depression, but also for sleep, pain, and anxiety. And many patients are never warned about the impact on memory. If you're taking one of these medications, ask your doctor, is there a newer option that's safer for my brain? Can we reduce the dose or try a non-drug alternative? Because that pill helping you sleep peacefully tonight might be quietly stealing your clarity, your memories, your very sense of self. You've just heard 9 names. 9 common groups of medications. They're prescribed every day. They sit in the medicine cabinets of millions of people over 60. And yet most are never warned about the risk to their memory. So, what should you do? Not panic, not stop your medications suddenly, not doubt every prescription, but simply this. Ask your doctor one powerful question, a question that could change your future. Is the medication I'm taking still safe for my memory? Because memory doesn't disappear overnight. It fades bit by bit quietly, silently, and by the time you notice, it might be too late to turn back. In our next video, we'll uncover the earliest signs of dementia that most people miss, and how you can help your brain recover naturally if caught early. Click the video beside this one, and please share this video with someone you love. It could help them hold on to their memory and to who they truly are. Thank you for watching Healthy End. May each day bring you clarity, and each night bring you peace.